Escape from Tarkov's latest wipe has been out for a little over a month, and I've been diving deep into it, with 120 hours logged, a level 41 PMC on the PvP server and another level 42 on the PvE, plus loads of time in Arena and SPT. I've got plenty to say about patch 16. Let's start with the highlights before tackling the challenges. The customs update. Now the customs update is actually very good. I really enjoyed what they did with this patch. Buildings that have never been accessible have been opened up, especially those around construction. Now it's kind of a two-sided blade with new angles, being able to look into the stronghold, and you can be shot from many different angles, and it's very hard to track where players are, especially if you've played a lot of customs before and you're used to it. But I guess that's just time is needed to just figure it out and learn the new areas people can be. Now I haven't had many problems myself with this, but the fact that you no longer have to worry about the choke points near old gas or beside the railroad, beside new gas station, there's a lot more ways you can get through the map now, and there's a lot more areas to loot. You can go to dorms and on the next raid I'm going to go into the crack house and then I'm going to go into the new buildings that are right beside there that have opened up, and there's tons of loot there, and you can get there's many technical boxes and tool crates and duffel bags, weapon crates. All this additional loot has changed the way the game flows. Previously, in my opinion, the map was only questing and PvP. You would be hunting your cultists and you would be doing your starter quests, and you're hunting cultists, you're doing PvP, and you're fighting the cultists. One or the other. There's no real loot path to do. There's no real objective other than PvP. And PvP is something I'm going to touch on later, so if you want to know my opinions on all of that, stay around. Next, the snow is back, and I was actually really loving it while the Christmas event was going on. But now, I'm kind of a little bit fed up of it. I don't know if I'm fed up of it or I'm fed up of the audio. It's one or the other. It's either the snow has me kind of fed up of it, or the audio not working with the snow, one or the other. The Karavod mode seemed very cool. I didn't actually get to try it that much. I only saw stuff regarding it on Twitch and on YouTube and in videos. I did some of the starter quests that came with it, but that's about it. So I don't really want to touch too more on that. I really enjoyed the blizzards. I think they were a very, very cool addition. It was like a unique new challenge, other than the PMCs, other than scavs, which I'm going to talk about later in this video as well, and the problems with them at the moment. So I really enjoyed the snow, and at the same time, I'm fed up of it. I think blizzards are a cool thing, and I'm kind of wish they would add back the status effect of frostbite. I think that would be cool, and just leave it in the game for a little while. Now, reduce the amount it occurs, and just have it as a smaller chance, and I think that's cool. That would be enough. So, the next thing I'm going to talk about is the flea market and the found-in raid for the hideout. I really, really like it personally. I think it was a great change. The first 2 weeks of this wipe I actually missed due to, Christmas, personal life, all that. When I started, I wasn't too far behind because the player base was not super progressed. There wasn't people with max level hideout and players level 30 and stuff who were running around with your meta gear and your high tier ammo and all this. A lot fewer. There were some, of course, because there's lots of loot ammo spawns on maps now, which is very good too, but a lot less. So I found that, yes, definitely, progression slowed down a lot. And it's very good in my opinion. It extends the longevity of the wipe, the sensation of the early wipe especially. And I guess a lot of people felt this too, the only issues with it were quest keys. Now I think there's a couple of things that can be done about this. I think there could be set locations for all keys in the game that are required for quests that have one use. So, you have, I think, 2 on customs at the moment, in the extortionist quest and the bronze pocket watch quest. And there's also one on the streets. I don't remember what quest it's for. Now these are cool additions, and I think it would be cool that if you have me going to Market Room for a quest, there should be a spawn of a Market Room key. I could just find it, use it that raid, and maybe not have it sellable. Like, don't allow players to sell it on the flea market. Now, this could also break the point of the Market Rooms, maybe not for Market Rooms, but for other rooms. Like, I got stuck this wipe on room 303 in dorms. Couldn't find that key anywhere for ages. And then as soon as the flea market unlocked, I bought it and did the quest, and I progressed really quickly again. So, if there was a place I could go and get a one-use 303 key, it would help a lot in my opinion. So, I've touched on some of the positives so far, things I consider positives to patch 16. Now I'm going to talk about one of the big negatives to me. PvP mode in general has just become stale. I'm not going to focus on the desync. I've experienced the amount of cheaters I've ran into or other things like that. I think the community is very aware. I think the devs are very aware. But to begin with, I feel like I'm getting too old for how ratty the game has become. I like Tarkov for the arena-style gameplay that you get in the now Tarkov Arena, the arena mode. That's great to me, and that's why I play a little bit of arena pretty often. I always do my dailies and all this. But I used to love that, and I used to love the intense moments that you got, especially in the early wipe, when you were in a 1v2 or 2v2 or 2v3 or anything of the sort. The fight is super intense. You know where the people are. You're in this big fight, ready to throw down. Your heart rate goes up. It's a Tarkov only experience. No other game gives you this experience, and I feel it has disappeared. I feel like the game has just become way too ratty. So often I'm walking or running in an area that I'm usually going through or doing something in, and suddenly I get shot at, and the instant is in my face and I'm dead. 10 minutes into the raid and someone is just sitting in a corner, sitting in a bush, holding a door, anything of the sort, and it's just like they hear you. And often I think they're doing their own thing, and it's just who hears who first. This is even worse and amplified even more because the audio bugs in the game, in my opinion right now, are utterly terrible. They are awful. There's so many bugs, so many issues with audio in the game right now, in my opinion. I don't know if it's just me. I feel like it's been since they added the binaural audio only change, it has had a problem. Now, I don't know if it's just you can't hear people sneaking anymore. I'm often finding people just creep walking up behind me, walking through a door, and I'm not able to hear a thing. And I don't enjoy that. What Tarkov has become is just not rewarding to do PvP in Tarkov, in the actual PvP mode. At this point, I think it's just more enjoyable to go play PvE, and when I want a PvP fix, play arena. And the fact that when you do win, the win is not rewarding has become a problem. Like, yes, you can now fight someone, kill them, take their meta gun, get out, sell the parts on the flea market, and it helps. But it doesn't feel as rewarding as it used to, especially when you can just go play arena. The thing I find most amusing about this exact point is that I decided to just jump on Twitch and go into a couple of different people's chats and ask them about this. And ask them just a couple of these things I've been talking about in this video, and ask them like, what are their opinions on PvP right now? And a lot of people said the same thing. Very, very ratty. PvP is not rewarding. And now maybe this is not a good example, but like I did try to not speak to only high view streamers. I also dropped into chats with people with 6 viewers, 5 viewers, 3 viewers, 9 viewers, 10, 15, 30. All of these. I tried to get a really good gauge on what is the current state of PvP in Tarkov. And I feel like I'm in the same boat as everyone else. Desync, cheaters, rats, bugs. they all just take away too much from what is potentially the coolest. This game has the coolest and most intense PvP there is. Full stop. That's something I am standing by. It is the best PvP game, but it sucks. Now, on top of all of this, I feel like there's a problem with scavs at the moment. I'm feeling, the recent change with suppressive fire has just become bullshit. It's a cool concept. Like, I like that they are shooting more, and it's like makes the raids feel more engaging, more realistic, more intense, more lethal. And this was something really amplified by the fact that when blizzards were around, scavs could just lock onto you through a blinding blizzard. You couldn't see a thing 10 meters away, but there's a scav 100 meters away, locked onto you, bang, 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 and you've no idea what's going on and where they are exactly. You have an idea where they're coming from, but you don't know. And I feel it's not good for the game. What is good for the game is the fact that they changed the suppressive fire. That's a good change, it's a good fix. But the fact that you're just running there and suddenly a scav 90 meters away has just swiveled on the spot, caught you, and now bang, 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 bang. Like, that is not good. And I really do not like that. I don't mind how accurate they are, and especially with how, you're peeking for a second, they don't hit you. Very low chance of hitting you. You're peeking for a minute, and then slowly the scav is becoming more lethal and more dangerous and more accurate over time. And there's always that chance he just one-taps you, but that's Tarkov. And I really like that aspect of it. But I do not like how when I am running around trying to play sneaky, trying to avoid the contact, and they lock onto me through very stupid conditions, and just either give away my position or just randomly start shooting at me. And it's not even like risking my life and possibly dying to them. That's the problem. It's just that they start shooting and give away where I am, what I'm doing. And I don't like that. Now, I've touched on this already, but PvP is the problem. And the solution is really, honestly, PVE mode. It's very, very good. But again, it's not done right. There's a few very little things that make it bad. And one of them, and probably the most important, and I don't know if people feel and agree with this, is performance. The fact that when I'm playing alone, I can't enjoy the game because of poor performance. I load into a raid and I know, for example, Lighthouse, and I get 45 FPS running the server myself. Now, I've played single player Tarkov where you actually have to run the server yourself to play the game, and it runs phenomenally. Like, I get 80, 90 FPS on that map. But in the PvE mode, it's not. It doesn't run well. And it's kind of a big loss to me. Next, the AI, the PMC AI, is just bullshit. They're not done well. It's a very cheap excuse for players, like for emulating players. They don't roam the map. The gear they have is stupid. Their AI is just rogue or raider AI. It's not unique, it's not cool, it's not different. Again, I'm going to compare this to single player Tarkov. You have mods there that can add AI intelligence, let's say. You can tune them. You can say, oh, they'll all spawn like me and run somewhere. Oh, they'll all spawn when I do something, when there's some activity on the map. Oh, suddenly there's a PMC. Stuff like this. So I think that would be a big fix. And one of the potential fixes for that is just allowing modding support. That would be very cool. And I don't know why they don't do this, at least when you're playing alone. And finally, as I mentioned, the gear they have is just stupid. I really dislike how I'm playing on I reset my account and I'm playing on a level 1 character, and I'm running into PMCs with raid bags. I'm running into PMCs with not meta, but good guns. And it's always the same, like the same gear I would run into on rogues or raiders. It's not different, it's the same. And I think there's a really easy solution to this. I don't know why they don't just create a bunch of different like example PMC kits based on your current trader level. Base it on like, okay, I'm going to select 10 PMCs for this raid. The player is level 1 Ragman, but level 2 Prapor. So let me get level 1 Ragman gear and level 2 Prapor gear and use all that to combine to create a new weapon. And then let me throw in a little bit of extra. And stuff like this. I think that would add a lot more uniqueness to the game. It would make it feel more realistic. It would make it feel like you're playing online. Now maybe they wanted to do it that way because, you know, realistically, raiders, rogues, they're all actual quote-unquote PMCs from the universe. So that kind of makes sense. But to me, it doesn't emulate the real Tarkov, which single-player Tarkov does very well. So yeah, finally I just want to mention one last thing. Prestige is a very, very cool thing. It is very well done. I really like the addition of it. It's very cool. Something to work towards, something interesting, something fresh. Doesn't have level 50, 60 players running around shitting on everybody. It gives them something to do too. So it really helps with the staleness of PvP in my opinion. At the moment I'm level 41 and I don't know if I'm going to try and get a prestige, and that's something cool for me to work towards. So it gives me something to do once I complete all my just quests. Like it's a overarching goal. So I just want to touch on a few last things that I feel are very good. And yeah, so continuous healing was added. And I think it's the best feature of the patch. It's a very, very good quality of life thing. And I really, really like that addition. Hidden extracts, also very cool, but they get a little bit stale. And now maybe when the wipe goes on, you level up your search skill, you find more of them, stuff like this, better. But at early wipe, I was searching cabinets for keys a lot in my PvP account, and I found them I could search 20, 30 cabinets and not find one. So, and then suddenly on my scav, I'd find one instantly. It's very weird. So, it's cool, but I think there's something a little bit off about it. Finally, the PTR quests and other quests that have been added this wipe, very good. I really like them. Cool things and very nice additions and fresh takes on the game. So this has been my opinion. What I thought, my opinions on everything that's happened so far this wipe, or what I've experienced playing the game. So I've got a good base ground of what this wipe is like so far, and I think I'm sharing the opinion of a lot of people in the community at the moment. So yeah, I just wanted to share my opinion and ask you guys, do you agree? Do you disagree? Tell me. Either way, thanks for watching. I'll chat to you all in the next one.